Okay, so welcome to this ship guide tutorial, and today we'll be looking at one of the smallest and lightest fighter jets that you would be able to build on the game with some of the most overpowered weapons. Now this ship will be pretty good for most combat battles. The only thing that you'll struggle with possibly is the shields if there's a lot of ships. Single ships you'll take down really easily, but I'll show you a bit of a fighting clip. We'll pick a fight with some of the UC. I'll show you what you can do. So this ship totaled about 290k by the time I bought all the weapons for it, but it's an absolute beast. We'll talk more through the statistics later on when we reach the starport. So we're just going to pick a fight with some of these little ships outside of Jemison. So I'm just going to fly over here, spin round, and look how many ships we've got here. We've got about 15 ships. And we're just going to find one to start a fight with. Get that damage straight away. Ooh, she is not happy about this. Top tip, don't go destroying the UC if you want to get Sarah on side. Just so easy, and I'm not a very good pilot, but even I find it ridiculous easy with this little beast. Just the damage off these weapons. So there's 6 auto projectors on this ship, so the damage output is insane. There's also 4 more particulate beams on the back. Wow, coming ship to us. I mean, considering how many ships there is, from a relatively low use of shield, this is, yeah, it's pretty easy. I've used 1 ship part so far. Generally, you're never going to be encountering as many ships unless you're an evil planet domineering warlord. That's it. Every ship dead. So we just killed all the UC ships outside of Jemison using 1 ship part. So for the size of this ship, it is an absolute beast. But we'll take a flight down to the starport and I'll show you how I actually made this ship. Better reload the save first. Okay, so this is the ship. So we are talking a Class B ship, 140 fuel, 1086 hull, 534 cargo. Is relatively low cargo on this ship due to its lightweight. It can man up to 6 crew. It has a jump distance of 30 light years, 1674 shield, and the weapon damage are both relatively high for the type of ship. It's all auto guns, so you just hold your triggers down. So we'll split this ship down and I'll show you how it's actually built. Okay, so we've split our ship down into 3 layers. We have a top section on the left, a middle section in the middle, and a bottom section on the right. As you can see, it's a fairly small ship. There is only one 2x1 module in the middle, which is a Demios control system, just for the crew capacity. Then we've got a companionway on the top and a companionway on the bottom. They're the only hubs that you'll have in this build. So starting on the bottom layer, we'll start with the landing gears. So for the landing gears, we have the Pinpoint 3G landing gear, starboard 4. This is obviously mirrored on the left hand side with the port 4. For the rear landing gears, we'll be using the Pinpoint 3G landing gear port aft, and again that will just be duplicated and mirrored on the other side. We have the Ship Bed 200 landing bay. This is a great landing bay, it's tiny and it only has a mass of 1. And then at the front we have the Dymus companionway, which is just a module that links to our landing bay just so we can access the cockpit. And mounted on top of these landing gears, we have the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors, 1 on each side. Moving to the middle of the build, our cockpit is a DS-10.1 Phobos cockpit from Deimos. So this is a relatively small and light cockpit, and it has a small cargo capacity. We then have the Deimos control system, the 2x1 hub, which has a crew station of 4, and we have a 200cm ballast cargo hold on the right hand side, which gives us a cargo capacity of 245. At the back of the ship we then have a Nova bracer, just so that you can attach fuel tanks to the back. And for the fuel tanks we have the 400G HE3 tanks. Moving on to the top layer, and this is the most complicated layer of the entire build. At the front of the ship we'll start with the Demios companionway 1x1 with a slim docker on the top. Moving out to the left we have the Nova wing starboard. Now we have 4 of these in total, and obviously it's just flipped either side just so we've got somewhere to mount the weapons. The weapons on this ship are only the Vanguard Obliterator auto projectors, as well as the PBO 175 auto helium beams. Now these, as I said before, are automatic weapons. You can replace these for the non-automatic if you prefer those. I just like the ease of the auto weapons on this game. So in total we have 6 of the Vanguard Obliterators, 4 on these front wings, and then 2 on the landing gears on the right, as you see. As for the auto helium beams, we only have 4, which are mounted on the bracers. So the reactor we're using is a Z Machine 4000. This is a Class B and it generates 35 power, which is pretty much perfect for this build. I found it to be the best Class B reactor that I can use at the minute in terms of power to weight ratio. On top we have a Warden SG300 shield generator. This generates 930 shield and regens at 7%. So I do have a couple of the shield upgrades unlocked through the skills, which kind of increase my my shields on my ship by 20%. The grav drive that we are using is a Helios 400 grav drive. Again, this takes us up to 30 light years, so it's pretty much all we need. As you can see at the bottom, my top speed is actually 180, which is normally 150. That is due to these engines. So you have 2 White Dwarf 3015 engines, and it is the only engine on the game, as far as I'm aware, that can have a max speed of 180. So as you can see, we've got full mobility and full top speed with a mass of just 504. Now considering we've got a cargo of 445, you know, that's pretty good. So we're just going to snap this back together and I'll show you how it'll build. Okay, so you will encounter one issue when completing this build yourself, and that will be in relation to the cargo hold on the port side. So as you may well have seen, I have a little cargo bay packed under here. If I remove this from the ship and then try and put it back on, it's red. So if I tap here, it's not doing anything. If I press B, it just kicks the part back out. So if I move it over here, try and place it, press B to cancel, throws it over here. There's a little cheat to get around this. So as long as it snaps in place somewhere, without pressing anything else, you're going to press flip. And then I'm going to press flip again, and then I'm going to press cancel. Now your cargo bay is attached to the side of the ship. So it's a neat little glitch. It does work for most components, and it's great for overlapping things if you're struggling for space. But this build, as I said, it's pretty good. It's very lightweight, full mobility, full top speed, and full jump range. 6 crew capacity, 445 cargo, and 930 shield capacity. You know, for the size of it, it's a pretty good ship. And if you build this, if you make any modifications, just let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, and if you would like to see more ship builds. If you've got anything in particular that you'd like me to try to build, just let me know and I'll try and make a video for that. But thanks again for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing the video to help me grow my channel.